The art of accompaniment. When we hear the word accompaniment, what usually comes to mind is a musical piece that supports or partners a solo instrument, voice, or group. However, this term has other nuances of meaning. Aside from music, what other fields have something to do with the concept of accompaniment? Accompaniment can refer to the process of providing guidance, support, and feedback to someone as they pursue their goals or work through a particular task or challenge. In the context of education, accompaniment typically involves a teacher or mentor working closely with a student or students to help them achieve their learning objectives and develop their knowledge and skills. This can include providing regular feedback, offering guidance and support, and helping to identify areas for improvement or further development. Ultimately, the goal of accompaniment in education is to empower students to take ownership of their learning and reach their full potential. Just like any other endeavor, one who engages in the task of accompaniment should master useful techniques to be efficient. True enough, it's like learning an art, but is there such a thing as an art of accompaniment? As the concept suggests, an art of accompaniment can refer to an educational paradigm that highlights the importance of support and guidance in the learning process. Here, we can look into the role of the teacher as a mentor rather than an authority figure. The teacher's goal is to guide and encourage students rather than dictate what they should learn. This art of accompaniment can indicate a shift away from traditional hierarchical models of education and going towards a more dynamic, inclusive approach that values individuality and creativity. By prioritizing relationship building and empathy, educators can help create a more compassionate and equitable learning environment that benefits everyone involved. One may ask, how can an accompanier be effective and particularly relevant in this task in today's fast-paced and ever-changing world? We can find varied answers to this question depending on our desired outcomes, but I would like to go beyond the outcomes and look into the whole process of accompaniment. Through a resource booklet I read some time ago, I came across The Art of Accompaniment by Bill Hughes. Here, he mentions 3 principles that I consider essential if one has to master the art of accompaniment. Although these principles were proposed mainly to people engaged in pastoral work, the way I see it, they also are very relevant in the whole process of education, especially in Catholic education. According to Bill Hughes, accompanying someone on his or her journey is a sacred task. It is a daily walking with someone who has a specific goal to lead someone closer to the heart of God. Hughes affirms that without this principle in mind, the one accompanying becomes a drifter in a world lacking in meaning and purpose. This is also highly emphasized in the whole process of educating a child. The educator in this sacred task must be able to accompany the child towards the discovery of a life filled with meaning. Indeed, life in all its fullness. As stated by John Dewey, the renowned philosopher of education, the ultimate aim of education is nothing other than the creation of human beings in the fullness of their capacities. Another principle is, grace is the force behind accompaniment. We learn from our basic catechism that Grace is given to us even as we live in our individual situations in life, experiencing our own spiritual journeys. From the Catechism of the Catholic Church, 1999. For Hughes, it is precisely in the realm of grace that accompaniment operates. It is here where the discovery of God's love begins. Here, we find ourselves mindful of the presence of God. This becomes our compass. Everything in our life is directed by it. In this task of accompaniment, we become aware that we are actually guiding each other along the pathway of God. The third principle is to have reverence for the divine mystery in each other. Quoting Pope Francis's apostolic exhortation, The Joy of the Gospel, Hughes writes, "No one can plumb or measure the mystery of God's presence in the life of another person. Therefore, we must listen carefully to how God calls its person to himself." In fact, in number 172 of this document, the Pope affirms that one who accompanies others has to realize that each person's situation before God and their life in grace are mysteries which no one can fully know from without. This principle, when applied in the educational process, can greatly help the educator discover the uniqueness of each person and develop high esteem for their abilities, interests, and talents. In this way, each one grows according to their innate design as individuals. It is said that learning is a continuous process. It is also a journey that each person is engaged in throughout his or her life. And in this journey, we discover that we can walk together with others who, like us, are in search of growth and meaning in life. Journeying together with others allows us to be more open, compassionate, and ready to reach new heights in life.